Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Edit with Me. I'm Kelly, your editor for today, and today we're going to be taking this sweet, heart-touching image of Daddy and his baby from raw to ready. So grab yourself a drink, get a pen or something else to take notes, and come along with me as we edit and discuss today's topic of joy. Roll the intro. Welcome back. So, how is everybody today? I hope you're having a great day. It is a beautiful day down here in Florida, and I am in such a good mood, ready to start our day and get some editing done today. So, I was going to start today with an image that is very underexposed. Oftentimes when I shoot, especially when I have a great deal of natural light, I underexpose my images so that I can bring them up in post. Reason being is I find that I get a better color and a better start for my editing for my images. Now, it's always right to properly expose your images, but especially for indoor, I'm able to do a lot more with the light if I underexpose. Let me explain. I am going to take this image and I am going to fix what I see needs to be done immediately. Obviously, you can see right here, we're crooked. So I'm going to go in and make that adjustment first. And I prefer to do it in Lightroom. You know, it doesn't really matter. You can always save it and do it in Photoshop, but I like to start with my massive corrections first. Oh, so much better. Okay, so I am going to come down here, and today we're going to be working in one of my favorite presets, and I don't use presets for everything. I have my own ways of editing, and if you've been here, you know that I'm a huge believer in making your own presets, getting your confidence. But I am going to talk a little bit about this beautiful ordinary. I have become obsessed with it lately, and it is by Michelle McKay. I just don't know what it is. I'll show you what it is. I already have two custom ones that I've added into that folder, but I'm going to show you just the way that she does her presets. They're really beautiful for indoor home. I think she just takes out all the distracting colors. So I actually, for this video, I have made the low light blush preset myself. It says Kelly's Take, if you can see right there. We're actually going to be using that one, and I will show you how I did the blush and then brought it to Kelly's Take. Okay, so part of that is understanding how presets work. So I'm going to apply the regular blush to my image, and we're going to work from there. So I'm going to come in here, and you know I always start at the bottom. I'm going to remove chromatic aberration. I'm going to pull up my sharpening to about 83 probably, my noise reduction. I like my images much more smooth. You may not. It's totally up to you. And that's the beauty of learning to edit like this. Each person's going to love their stuff differently. You're going to learn what you like, what you don't like. So I'm going to start from the bottom and I'm going to work my way up. I like to make those mask changes before we start working on lighting. So then I'm going to come up here, and I don't want to add a whole lot of exposure yet. I kind of want to play in the blacks and shadows. So I'm actually going to pull some of my blacks down and push some of my shadows up and see if that makes me happy. And obviously that's not enough of an adjustment yet. So I know I need to add overall exposure. So I'm just going to creep this up until I get to where I am happy with it. And that right there, my friends, looks to be right. Now, I would like to take a little bit of contrast out of this and add in some shadows. So I'm going to lower down the contrast and I'm going to push down my shadows. I feel like it makes it much more dramatic when you use your shadows and not your contrast. As well as, you know, your overall image doesn't seem quite as harsh. Now I'm going to go in here and I'm going to add some radial filters and things like that. And you know, this is not an instructional video. There isn't just one way to do everything. I am not the Lightroom goddess queen who has all the answers, right? I just like editing, and I know you like listening. So as I'm kind of making my general adjustments here, I am going to discuss our topic of the day. I want to talk about joy today. Joy. That is such a big, wild topic, right? Most of us do not have enough in our lives. We are always searching for a little bit more joy, happier. You know, there's so many people nowadays that are on all those antidepressants and things. And I'm going to make an argument for you today as you are going about your day. I believe that joy stems from a perception of gratitude. I believe that the more grateful you are for things in your life and the type of perception you have about the gratefulness in your life, I believe that joy will follow. I want to start with a quote, and I'm just going to read it to you. It's from a blogger called, and her name is Amy Weatherly. And she has quite a lot of good perspectives on things. Her quote says, "Some people could be given an entire field of roses and only see thorns in it. Others could be given a single weed and look for the wildflower." Perception is a key component to gratitude, and gratitude is a key component to joy. I find joy in the smallest things, and I think the trick to that is I am grateful for my experiences every single day. I'm not constantly chasing the extraordinary. I am not looking for something to be amazing in order to get my notice, okay? I'm finding joy in the little things, in the breezes, in the way that my husband holds the small of my back, you know, in the giggles of my clients. That's where I find my joy. And I think it's because I am so grateful to have this life and this experience, right? If I were to go about life with the perception of, oh, I want to be the world's best photographer. I want to be the person that everyone comes to for editing, right? And that doesn't happen for me. I'm going to approach my life with a lot less gratitude and a lot less gratefulness. And there, I'm going to get a lot less joy out of it. However, if I say, you know, I'm just a humble photographer and editor, and I'm grateful for the clients that choose me and that come to me every single day to document their memories, then I'm able to appreciate those things so much deeper and have such a richer, mental life, because I'm grateful for those things instead of, oh, well, that's great, but that's not where I want to be yet. I want to be the best. Do you see what I'm saying? I know that this is kind of nuanced, friends, and I'm sorry about that, but I'm going to pause our conversation really quickly, and I'm going to play in the blinds here. I want to add a little bit more light, kind of creeping through. So I'm just gently going in and adding slight touches and radial filters of light, because I just kind of want to play a little bit more in these blinds. Okay, I'm going to pause it here, and I'm going to show you our quick before and after. So here's where we began, and here's where we are so far, and that is almost perfect. I just want to go into Photoshop and make a couple of adjustments. So I'm going to pull our image into Photoshop. And while we're waiting on that, I'm going to discuss what brings you joy. Tell me in the comments below, what is something that every time it happens, or when you stop to notice, what is something that brings you joy? For me, that is having a camera in hand in my client's home, and one of the very first images I click brings me such immense joy, because I have this realization that I am creating magic for this family. I am creating a memory that we're never going to be able to reproduce. I am creating their everyday life for them. And I just get such joy and such satisfaction for doing that for my people. It's something so small. You know, I shoot almost every single day, and I am so grateful for the chance to do that. But I have those moments in a session, and I really think everybody does, where you just get this little thrill of joy. All right, before I keep going, I'm going to explain what I'm doing to you. I don't like to heavily edit my daddies. I like the rugged handsomeness of their stubble and their faces and things like that. But I do go in and notice where there's a couple of inconsistencies, like, and this is super nitpicky, but do you see here, I'll make my bracket smaller, and I'm doing that just by clicking the bracket key. Do you see right here, he's got a little bit of inconsistency in his hairline, and his scruff is a little bit patchy here. I'm not going to do huge changes. I'm just going to come in and softly work those out. I'm going to try with my spot healing brush and see if that gives me the effect I'm looking for. If not, I'll just go in with a clone stamp. Yeah, see, that made it so much better. And now it's a lot more even, right? I'm going to do the same thing, but I think I'm actually going to clone his whiskers. So I'm going to come in here, and I don't want to choose the super dark part on his chin. I want to choose the part that's spread across his cheek. So I'm going to alt-click to define my parameter, and I'm just going to kind of paint that back in. I know that's very gradual, but I know that that is something that dads are going to look at, and it's really going to bother them, okay? So now that we've gotten that taken out, I am going to come in and fix something that just bothers me. I don't like these tiny distracting things like hinges and stuff like that. So I am going to just come in and I'm going to erase that out. And you notice what happened? It made our line blurry. So sometimes your spot healing brush works really well, and sometimes it doesn't. I find where it gets confused with lines and things, it tends to be quite confusing for the spot healing brush. So I'm going to come in and I'm just going to clone that line straight down. Oh, gracious. Okay, it looks to me like that's not going to work either. Hey, that's what I say, right? Do not be afraid to make mistakes. Do not be afraid to make mistakes. You can always erase things and all of that. So I'm going to try a bigger sample size and see if I can get that to work. And part of it is because there's a diagonal line here. I think that's what's going on. It's getting confused. There we go. That's a little bit better. Okay, so now I am going to come over here and I'm going to apply my universal prep. Now, if you've been with me for a while, you know that that's just a bit of portraiture and some sharpening. It's not any sort of tones or anything like that. So I'm going to come in here. I'm going to apply that. Excellent. And I'm going to do a little bit of high-end skin sharpening. I want Daddy and his little buddy Rocco to really jump off that page. So I'm going to apply my sharpening brush. I'm going to pull it down to, I don't know, 36. Let's try 36. And I'm just going to paint that on my dad right here. So anyway, I'm going to get back to our conversation. This week, when you are out and about and you're thinking and you're just running your normal day, shooting or grocery shopping or dealing with your babies or having a conversation with your mom or your husband or your best friend, I want you to stop and I want you to pay attention to what brings you joy. What gives you that little thrill of, oh, everything is right in the world? What makes your heart joyful this week? I want you to, instead of just going through our day like everything is fine and everything is normal, I want you to train your brain to start really taking notice of those things, okay? And you'll find just by doing that, jotting it down or even just making a mental note of that, you'll find that your daily satisfaction, it's not going to be life-changing. I mean, I'm not like some sort of self-help guru here, but you'll find that your daily satisfaction, it really is going to increase. And you're going to notice things that make you happier. You're going to notice when you're more in tune with your joy and your emotion. Okay, so what I was doing as I was talking is I was just adding a little bit of glow to those windows. And you'll find once it takes effect here. Sorry, my computer's so slow this morning. I think it's having the case of the Mondays, even though it's not even Monday, it's Tuesday. Anyway, oh, come on. Whenever I'm screen recording, it gives me a huge hissy fit. And I have to almost like trick it back into working. Okay, so I'm going to flatten that. And you notice there's just a small glow here. Okay, my friends, that is ready to bring back into Lightroom and to do our last touch and be done for the day. So do me a favor, if you haven't subscribed yet and you actually like this kind of stuff, you like hanging out, you like talking, do me a favor and subscribe and like this video if it was helpful. That's a good way that you can help me out, increase my viewership and things. I am going to come back over here. Boop, 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 and drag that over here. Sometimes Lightroom saves it in the back and it's very confusing. I don't know why it chooses to do that. But I am going to show you our before and our after. Now, one thing I did notice, I actually like the green slightly more of the one I showed you in the beginning. This one is still a bit magenta. So I often do that. When I'm done in Photoshop, I don't necessarily just go, okay, done and dusted, and I'm ready to move on. I take one final swipe at my image. And I actually, for my own preference, I prefer greener and more realistic tones and not so much magenta. So if you can see, there's the before and the after. And it's really slight, but it's just something that I notice and that really, really bothers me. So I'm going to pull my green down even a little bit more. I'm going to decrease my shadows to give it a little bit more definition and increase my contrast. And let's see how that looks. Yeah, that's much better. Much more true to life. All right, my loves, that is done and dusted. I am going to show you the before and after so you can see what we've done. Boop. There's the, whoops, there's the before. And there's the after we just edited. So I hope you're having a wonderful day. I hope whatever comes your way is manageable, brings you joy, and just lights your world up. Don't forget, you are loved. You are worthy. You are so valuable. And the world needs your lens. Thanks for listening. Go out and crush your day. Bye.